Well, good morning, YouTube. Uh, Started this video a little early, but anyway, uh, hope everybody's doing well. I didn't get a video out yesterday. It was a bit chaotic. Be nothing bad. It turned out good, but just time consuming. You know how that works. Get to feed day. I should have done it yesterday, but anyway, I didn't. So now I gotta hurry because I gotta stop at the bank before I do that, and then I have an 11 o'clock appointment. And I'm moving kind of slow this morning. It is cold this morning. We had a freeze last night for sure. Welcome to November. I'm not going to complain too much about the weather because it's been pretty nice so far. I mean, day before yesterday was 80 degrees. Of course, it's 30 degrees right now at 11:30 in the morning. So, yeah, big difference, but that's how it works this time of year. We're going to have about a week of this, high in the 40s, low in the 20s, and then it's going to warm up a little bit, highs in the 50s, I think lows in the 30s. And it'll probably be this way, back and forth till January. And typically lately, well, always that I can remember, January and February are our coldest months here. So and I think I've messed up. I think my bank's closed. I think they closed at 11:30 this morning. Oh no, we're about to find out. I hope not. I hope they don't close until noon, but Oh, they're still open till noon. Okay. Now, let me take up all the parking in front of the bank because I got the trailer on. So. Okay, got my banking done. Now I'm headed over to get the feed. Some of the things on my mind. These are my thoughts. Was watching Prepper Nation this morning, and it was different from him. Had a different tone, and I kind of wonder if not this tone is a lot of people. I mean, the election wasn't what we were told it was going to be. I understand that. I was a bit skeptical anyway on that. I was hopeful, but it also wasn't horrible. I mean, there was some good signs there, but his tone was kind of down, and the voting probably doesn't count, but I'm gonna still do it because I'm an idiot. That's his words. And I'm just not sure how I feel about all that. Myself on those topics. I don't think voting is a waste of time myself. And here's why. Okay. Now, I was involved with a motorcycle rights organization called Freedom of Road Riders for a long time, 15 years or so. Was a local officer, for most of that time. And we learned that when you write or call or even email now, email wasn't so prevalent back then, but But anytime you contact your elected official, they figure that you represent 100 people that aren't saying anything to them. And yes, that's not voting. So, but here's my point on that. Let me get to it. If we've elected someone, whether they are your candidate or not, get to writing the letters, sending emails, phone calls. I mean, you can find their phone numbers, whether it be state or federal. And I would suggest that you start with state. Don't leave the federal out. But even if they're on your side and doing what you want, send them an email saying this is why. Stick to one topic per email or letter or phone call. You know, these people are busy and they got a lot of people contacting them on a lot of different stuff. So don't confuse them with a bunch of topics. Be clear, be short, to the point. Especially phone calls. I know that with Freedom of Road Riders, we were state only. And our goal was to get rid of the mandatory helmet law in the state of Missouri. Not against helmets, just pro freedom of choice. You know, before anybody starts in on me about helmets, they work in certain cases they don't work. If you feel safer wearing one, wear one. But don't tell me I have to. Okay? And that's the bottom line there. I'm not going to argue with you. You're not going to change my mind. I have thought about this for a long time, you know. So, but through perseverance, you know, a grassroots organization, Freedom of Road Riders, only exists in Missouri. And there's a story behind that, but I'm not going into it. That's not what this is about. But they got a change by... Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my heat here. But the change happened because enough people that were affected by that law was willing to join an organization. They paid a lobbyist, and usually the lobbyist wasn't some established lobbying firm. It was someone intelligent and articulate from the organization. And we've had several of our members go on to the federal level with this kind of stuff. But anyway, point being, you know, we wrote letters, made phone calls, raised money, worked for candidates that supported us, you know, by their votes. And, you know, if they didn't vote the way we thought they should, someone was in their office pretty soon asking why. And people were on the phone, people were sending letters and emails wanting to know why. We held them accountable. You know, we didn't let them lie to us to get our vote and then back out on us and get away with it. Now, I haven't been involved with this organization for, I don't know, somewhere around 20 years now. And when they finally got it done, I wasn't involved with them. So, I'm not taking any credit there. But that's the deal. If you want change, don't sit around on Facebook or YouTube or wherever. It's okay to voice your opinion there, but you have to do more. Because think about it, how many of our elected officials follow your Facebook account? Probably not many. So they're probably not going to see your complaint. If they don't see your complaint, it didn't happen. You have to send the complaint to them. Find their Facebook account. They all have one now. Get on there. Voice your opinion. I get so tired of seeing people that I know, either or both usually, they complain in person to each other, or they're on Facebook complaining about it. You know, Facebook doesn't change anything, especially with the way they're set up. You know, it's already been proven legally that they influenced the election unfairly by not being the open source of information that they claim to be, where everyone has a voice. It's, you know, the law has proven that they shadow banned accounts, they demonetized accounts that did not follow their ideas, and that's just wrong, you know. And they should be held accountable. Either they are a news agency and has to or have to follow those regulations, or they are just a forum for people to go on and put whatever they want. Now, I understand having standards. Not a problem with standards. But when you tell someone they cannot express their opinion because it goes against yours, then you're stifling First Amendment rights. And that's wrong. You know, if you want to be a news source that only puts out your opinion, well, then admit to it and be that. You know, only let people on there that, you know, feel the same way as you. Kind of like the big media news outlets. CBS, ABC, NBC, all that. CNN, all them. You know, of course, they're losing money. But Facebook's losing a bunch of money. But anyway, okay, that's enough about that. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Just, let me see. I'm going to put it this way. If you're offended, well, sorry. Or maybe not. But just don't be a dick about it. You know. I'm getting to a point that I really don't care. Most of these YouTube videos, I try to keep my language clean, and, you know, because I've got young people. I mean, I got a 7 or 8 year old nephew that likes to watch these. I'm sure he doesn't watch these. He doesn't care about this kind of stuff, but he likes seeing the pigs, and, you know, I just don't feel I should be exposing a child that young that is not mine to that kind of language. And I wish more people thought that way. And I think I've talked about that before. But anyway, we're moving on. And, you know, there's drug shortages out there. And I don't mean illegal drugs. I mean prescription drugs. I'm hearing Adderall. The drug that's in the inhalers for asthma, albuterol. I don't know. I'm not a doctor or a pharmacist or a nurse, so, you know, sometimes I don't know how to pronounce this stuff. But anyway, and, you know, I personally have seen empty spaces on the over-the-counter meds, you know, on the shelves. and I don't get to the store a whole lot to do the grocery shopping. Rhonda does that. You know, sometimes I'll go pick it up or I'll go pick up something. But anyway, here's a trend I noticed, and these are just examples. You'll go through the meat department. One time they won't have any hamburger, but they'll have bacon, which two different animals. I'm aware of that, since I grow bacon seeds, or grow bacon from seeds, I guess. I don't know, however you want to put it. But and then the next time you'll go in there, they'll have a lot of hamburger and no steak, and everything's crazy high. You know, the food in the grocery store is getting higher, and the farmer's getting paid the same for it or less. It is nuts. But you know, like I said, it's weird to me how one time they can be out of macaroni and cheese but have, you know, spaghetti, and the next time it's reversed. I don't get it. And all the while making it harder, you know, complaining that, now I'm talking officials, the news media, complaining that, well, this is the problem. Can't get truck drivers, while making it harder to become a truck driver. And, you know, they should know by now that you can give someone all the training in the world and show them how to do it correctly, and they can pass the test. But when they get out there on their own, they do what they want. You know, and people are ignorant. You know, and I'm saying this as I'm driving down the road recording the video, but I'm mostly looking at the road in front of me and what's going on around me. You know, not spending a lot of time looking at this phone. But it's just crazy. It's like that truck driver. I mean, he could have killed at least 3 people the other day on the road, just because he didn't want to follow 3 cars. I mean, you know, and I don't know about the car in front of me or the car coming towards us. I don't know how many people were in those cars, but there was a truck behind me. I don't know how many people's in it, but the truck behind me realized something wasn't right, like me, and backed off and moved over. But, you know, and he got away with it. You know, just, you know, in my mind, if an accident would happen, somebody would have died, that would have been a minimum of vehicular manslaughter. I mean, minimum. No questions asked in my mind. And he's got a CDL, a commercial driver's license. Or at least we assume he does, because he was driving a tractor trailer. You know, I can't see anyone putting the truck out on the road without a properly licensed driver in it. I mean, that's setting you up for problems. But, you know, let me see if I covered everything I want to talk about this morning. I mean, and this stuff isn't happy stuff, and that bothers me. I really don't want to put this stuff out, but I feel I need to. I mean, and I've seen a change. I'm not the only one that's feeling this, because I'm seeing a change in a lot of the bigger YouTube channels that I've watched. You know, how they've changed from their family farming, homesteading stuff to get prepared, get your, get right with the Lord, uh, get some food in the house, get as much food in your house as you can. Find local sources for things you can. And these are people that usually mostly talk about family. They talk about religion a little bit, maybe, and they talk about their animals. And they weren't. In my mind, they were trying to do what I was trying to do, which they're not copying me. I'm more likely to be copying them. But But to me, that's something we all need to be paying attention to. Is there are those of us out here seeing it, and if you're not seeing it, let me know where you're living, where you're not seeing any shortages or missing products, or the prices have gone through the roof, because I would be interested to know. I mean, gasoline here, depending on where I go get it. I'm coming into Girard, Kansas right now, and E10, which is your basic gasolines, $3.39. Diesel fuel's $4.99. It's $5 a gallon for diesel fuel. Something's not right, folks. And I hope nobody watching me, first of all, I hope that I am not their number one source of news. But, and I hope that you're seeing what I'm seeing and you've been starting to prepare. I know many of you are, because I've got comments from you. I appreciate those comments. And so, like I said, on the gas, that's what I was talking about. In Joplin, Carl Junction, it's actually Airport Drive. It's a little village in between Joplin and Carl Junction. I was there the other day and got gas for $3.06 a gallon. Up in Liberal, it was $3.49 the last time I bought gas there. So, okay, I'm going to stop for a minute because I'm here to get feed, and I am exactly on time. Okie dokie, I'm back. Got the feed in the truck, or in the trailer. I'm on my way home. Yeah, didn't take long at all, did it? Anyway, speaking of what's going on YouTube, I'm noticing something else too. Well, it's tied in what I was just saying about people noticing what's going on, the YouTube creators. I put out a video a while back. It's titled something like, Are We in the Last Days of the Roman Empire, or something like that? Which, kind of feels like that. If you go back and look at the lack of morality and how they entertained themselves at the end, and they were overextended, it kind of feels that way to me. But my point is, I've seen it a couple of other creators that have made that connection as well. And like I said, I'm seeing things, and I'm that person that, even though I talk a lot on YouTube, most of the people that know me personally, well, there's a few that might say different, but see, the people that know me but don't know me real well will tell you that I'm pretty quiet. I don't have much to say. and they would be right as far as them. Of course, that goes back to that saying that I recently seen that every person you meet or know has a different version of you, and I find that to be pretty true. I mean, you know, and sometimes I've also found that you piss people off if you don't fit into their box for you, you know, for whatever reason. I mean, and I think we all do that to some extent. That's something driving me nuts there. Sorry about that. Anyway, you know, like I said, everybody's got their own version of who and what you are. So, but back to this fall of Rome. And like I said, I put out another video that was pretty much all we talked about. The leaders were more interested in lining their own pockets, you know, which is usually the way it is anyway. So, but like I said, I found it interesting that I'm not the only one that is seeing it from that perspective. You know, if you've got an opinion on that, leave me a comment. So, I don't know, this video is getting pretty long. I really didn't think it would go this long, but sometimes I get wound up and away we go. And I've got to try to get myself reined in. My viewership keeps going up. You know, I appreciate that. And welcome to all new subscribers. Hope you've watched long enough to see that or hear that. I had something on my mind, but I forgot it. Just gone. I don't know. Anyway, you know, start getting yourself prepared for hard times. I said it because I knew it. The election wasn't going to change anything fast. You know, it takes a while to unravel this stuff sometimes. And like I said, here's the thing. It says, we the people. And we the people are the ones that are going to have to fix this. The president can't do it. The politicians can't do it. You know, we the people have to do it. Which just, hopefully I can retain this thought. But we've got to do it. Like I said earlier, you know, write those letters, make those phone calls. And if you can afford the time, go see them in person. I know they could probably do it. Most of them can look you in the eye and lie to you, but you know, it's a little harder to do. Especially if you can get a group to go. I've got to start writing some letters because it's probably not going to do a whole lot of good, but it's over these USDA regulations. Just, you know, it's crazy. But here in Missouri, you know, topic change, we just passed a proposition legalizing recreational marijuana. I want to, I guess, go on record with my view on this. I don't think this proposition was a good idea. There's a whole lot of government possible overreach and room for overreach, and so I don't think it was a good idea. I don't think marijuana is any worse than alcohol or cigarettes. I don't want to see those banned. I mean, take responsibility for your life. And I believe that all three, cigarettes, tobacco, and marijuana, are all gateway drugs. Okay, now that does not mean, let me repeat that does not mean that everyone that ever tries marijuana or smokes a cigarette or drinks a beer or does a shot is going to go on to harder things. It just, but it is a gateway. We grow up in this country here, and this is bad for you, this is bad for you, this is bad for you. And, there are people out there that are, one, you tell them it's bad for them and they shouldn't do it, they're going to go do it anyway. They're going to prove to you in their mind that it's not so bad. Cigarettes won't kill you. And I can get off the alcohol or the marijuana whenever I want. Whatever. But they're not good for you. So you smoke a cigarette. Well, this ain't so bad. You try a beer. It ain't so bad. What else are they lying to me about? Now, that's probably not the exact thought process. I mean, that's pretty involved thought process for how that actually works. You have a few beers and you're out with your friends and somebody hands you a joint. And, your inhibitions are already lowered. And next thing you know, you're smoking marijuana. Not that one joint's going to get you addicted. And I know there's a lot of people. I'm not going to argue with anybody over this either, because you're not going to change my mind. Just because you smoke pot doesn't mean you're going to go on to do cocaine. I get it. But it is a gateway. Those things are easier to get. Cigarettes and alcohol are legal. But, there is the possibility to lead to worse things. I mean, and it's just the truth. I'm not trying to, I've used alcohol. I smoke a cigar occasionally. Haven't in a long time, but I can enjoy one. So I'm not against things. I am for moderation in all things. It says so in the Bible somewhere. Just like I said, that's what I think. Plus, here's another, and this is probably a conspiracy theory. My radio started staticking at me. I think it's jacked up. But anyway, lost my train of thought here. Oh, here we go. It just seems to me that when a state legalizes marijuana use, they could become more and more liberal. And I also know that's not 100% accurate. I'm not saying that it is going to be that way, or that everyone that smokes a joint occasionally is a liberal nutcase. Nope, not saying that. I know a lot of people that smoke marijuana that are conservative. But again, it does lower inhibitions. And I just don't think it's a good idea. And that's my opinion. And you're not going to change my opinion by arguing with me, and that's fine. We can agree, we can disagree and still be all right. I honestly don't think that marijuana is as bad as alcohol. But cigarettes, alcohol, and marijuana do alter the way you think. Cigarettes being the least mind altering, but quite possibly the most dangerous for the person using. Okay. Now, alcohol is more dangerous for the people around you. Especially if you drink and drive. So, but anyway, that's enough on that topic. I think I probably ought to wind this up, because just this segment since I started now has been 13 minutes. But just some of the things on my mind, and I know y'all would prefer to watch baby pig videos or kitty videos, which for me to post a kitty video is pretty rare because I'm not a cat person. I mean, of course, I look at all of the animals on our place like this, same as I do. Well, not exactly the same as I do the people, but if I'm going to pay for their feed, then they need to earn it. And some of our cats are. Caught one the other day with a mouse. Good cat. And same way with the dogs. I have 2 hunting dogs, and they will go hunt. I haven't hunted in a while, and that would be my fault, not theirs. So, old Sassy, she's a retiree now, but she was a watchdog. Not necessarily a guard dog, but a watchdog that barked when let us know when somebody was there. She was pretty good at it, and she was pretty good companion for Ethan when he went on his couple of excursions when he was a little guy. So she's earned her retirement. And Opal is coming up. Hopefully she will help to work the pigs, especially when they get out. Right now, her job, she seems to think her job is to be annoying to us people and Sassy, especially Sassy. She wants Sassy to play. Sassy's just too old for that. She ain't got no interest in playing. She just wants to sleep, eat occasionally. And she's earned that right. Of course, this kind of goes along with my opinion of people. If you are capable, then you should be earning your way. I know a lot of people that are, I can't be politically correct with this. They're mentally handicapped. And for me, a handicap isn't an insult. It's just a description. Bottom line, it doesn't make you any less of a person, but if you have a mental or physical reason for not working, or know someone who does, I get it. It happens. But everyone else can do something to pay their way in life. You know. And I know some mentally handicapped people that love working. I mean, you know, there used to be a sheltered workshop, they call it, in Joplin. And it was a recycling center. Well, there's one in Lamar now, but they recycled glass and aluminum and different things, you know. Not a full-blown salvage yard or junkyard, you know. But, you know, small stuff. And they would hire these people, come in there and work, and they loved it. I loved going in there and dealing with them because they were happy. They felt good about themselves because they had a job. Now, they wasn't making much money, but they still got their government assistance. Which got no problem with that. And, you know, they was making a little money. The company got some money from the government for hiring them. They paid part of their wages. I'm okay with that kind of stuff. I really am. I think that's great. You know, the company made some money by selling these recyclables, and it was great. Like I said, the people that worked there that were handicapped, they were happy because they felt like they were earning their way in life. They knew instinctively that that's the right thing to do. And that made them feel more like everyone else. You know, I got a job. I'm just like everybody else. And, you know, they are just like everybody else except for, you know, whatever that disability was. You know, and that's another word that doesn't scare me. It's not a bad word. It's not bad words, disability or handicap. It's just basically a description, because we all have handicaps. I know college educated people that education handicaps them, you know. So we just get too hung up on everybody's feelings. Oh, then people shouldn't have to work for their money. Well, they were happy to work for their money. There was a couple of brothers worked at Superior with me. It's a wheel manufacturing plant. And the one was really, really extremely reserved. Just, you know, he was the definition of an introvert. He didn't talk much, and when he did, he just kind of mumbled, blah, blah, blah. But the other one was pretty outgoing, and he was one of the happiest guys there. Because he was happy to have a job, and he's making really good money just like the rest of us, you know. Back when, you know, like $11 an hour was good money. Back in the early 90s. So that was a while ago. Now $20 an hour isn't as good as what $11 an hour was back then. It's crazy. But Jimmy was his name. And I trained Jimmy to do several different things over the years that I worked with him and he worked for me. I was his foreman for a while. But you would train him to do something. It'd take him a little bit longer than everyone else to get it. But he did it exactly the same way every time. He didn't care. This is the way I'm supposed to do it, and he did it. And you didn't have to worry about it. He showed up for work every day. He wasn't late. Now, he'd be a little late getting back from his breaks because, you know, like all of us, he was influenced by other people. And, you know, he didn't have many friends, so when people would talk to him, he'd talk back. He loved it, you know. And just, like I said, the happiest guy on my crew. Because, you know, the rest of us consider ourselves normal. We're not necessarily happy to have the job we have. I know that's been me most of my life. I mean, but I didn't know what else I was going to do. So, but anyway, I got off on a rant, and I'm not even sure where I was going with it, but because I forgot. got to telling a story about Jimmy, which, you know, I ran into him a few times over the years. Just, he's still the same guy he was back then. I can't say that I'm that same person. You know, a lot of ways I'm better. Some ways I think I might be worse. I know that I can't work like I did back then. And that's not a cop out. That's just the truth. I mean, it's just the way it is. But anyway, I better wind this up. I'm almost home. And I'm sure this video is going to be close to an hour long. But anyway, if you've watched this far, thank you for indulging me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit that like button. You know, let's mess with YouTube's algorithm a little bit. Oh, that's something else too. Just real quick before I sign off. I put out 2 videos this week. Identical videos. It's the same video. Actually, it's absolutely the exact same video. It's of 2 of our newest kittens. Well, they are our 2 youngest cats. So, anyway, it's exact 15-second video. One of them was named the Fat Babies, because that's what I call them. I mean, they're orphans, but they are the chubbiest little kittens I've ever seen. And that one got 4 views. 4. Okay, a few hours later, I saw that video wasn't going very well. It's a short. So I put it out again. The only thing I changed was the title to Fat Baby Kittens. That's the only difference. Fat Baby Kittens. And that one got over 840 views in just a few hours. It's messed up. So, anyway, I hope you found that a little bit amusing. And I'm going to get off here because I got to go to the bathroom. So, let's look out for each other. Let's help each other when we can. And let's pray. There's lots of prayers needed.